welcome to CATtheMinion Patreon. This is going to be September deep dive reading for Aries. So that can be Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus, anyone who's feeling the throes of the Mars and Aries energy, or anyone else who is afflicted in some way or called upon to view it. Okay, so I'm using the Thoth deck, I'm using the Cairo Marchetti Legacy deck, and I'm using my phrase deck that I made, paraphrasing from books, and I got the charms over here. So I have cleared and shuffled these. I'm gonna, the owl peeking out over here. So we're dealing with wisdom or some kind of important messages coming in here. Alright, so I'm going to get these laid out. This is going to be based on my life purpose overview, my life purpose reading. It's $101, and instead of 6 oracle cards that would be on the top and bottom of the reading, I'm using the charms instead. But I'm still using the basic meat of the reading. So there's going to be an overview section, which is basically who you are. There's going to be a work section, which is basically what you do. And there's going to be a relationship section, which is basically how you do it. So who you are, what you do, and how you do it. It's a little cross section, a little thin slice of your overall, of your like entire life purpose, of what's coming up in the energies for September. So, 7.5 billion people on the planet, so the energies might not be exact for everyone, so keep that in mind. This is going to be representing potential future, this is going to be representing the present, and this is going to be representing the past. So I'm going to get these laid out. I feel like that's a double. Actually, let's stop coming out in pairs. Future relationship Aries. I'm not taking all 4 of those goddamn cards. Take these 2. So it's not going to let me get away without multiples. Try to get these over as far as I can, because these Thoth deck cards are wide too. Wide, buddy. Barely get my hand around these. I don't like shuffling these the other way. I'm going to adjust that after I get these laid out. It's not auto adjust, it just focuses to a set point, and I'm going to check it after. So this is going to be the relationship area. So it might be, a love relationship. It might be your family relationship. It might be, let's really put that in the challenge position. But it does go back to the idea of it's not necessarily to be taken literally. It's how you go about things in your life. And in the same respect, the work isn't always going to be literally what you do as your job, like what pays the bills, how do you feed yourself. It's what is the task that you're working on that's derivative of the life purpose or at least the section that's at play for the next month. Nope. Double. So, past, present, potential, future, and this is past, present, potential, future of the work. Almost. Whoa. Yes, I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this one. And then this is the overview. No, we don't have room over there. Imagine how much room this would take up if I used 3 of the big decks. Like if I used the Thoth deck and the Blessed Be and the Syrian Starseed. But I don't really make the decisions as to which decks go for which reading I do. It's more of a sense, although, I mean, typically if I'm doing a Twin Flame reading, I'll use the Twin Flame Pinnacle deck that I have. And probably the Romance Oracle. But if I get more decks, then there'll be more variety there. But, yeah, it's gotta be for the right reasons at the right time. So I've got other things going on. Oh, trying to get my spine to go back into place. Need to do some yoga. I've been slacking. Okay, these two together. Okay. Apparently. Okay, this one in the challenge position and the other one not. Back up a little bit. Kind of have everybody in there. Alright. 11 minutes on this segment, okay. Remind me to do the charms after the first section, so I'll put that there. I need a sip of water again. So for the overview in the past for Aries, we have the King of Coins in the challenge position and the Hanged Man inverted. Hanged Man is water, which is Neptune, so we have Neptune retrograde here, and we have this idea that I'm having a hard time being in control of my own manifestation. Like I'm struggling to get my finances and my bills to go in the black direction. Right? I don't have enough resources, and I'm trying to get there and it's really hard. So we have a 1 or a 14, which could break down to a 5, right? I'm not quite balanced, but I'm trying to be. Hangman inverted is the idea of I'm waking up, I'm starting to get an understanding. Now, an inverted hangman gives me the idea of a knight, and because we're not quite a king, I get this idea of Knight of Pentacles. Why these energies are separate is probably to isolate the Neptune retrograde energy. King of Coins, King of Pentacles, Aries and Taurus, okay? So Aries in your own reading with Taurus, so sort of locking heads, probably with your own ego, although Taurus is ruled by Venus. So, I mean, it's sort of like the masculine and the feminine at loggerheads. But it could be an internal thing. I'm not in touch with my feelings and I'm feeling irritated. But either way, the energy breaks down to me to a singular thing of the Knight of Pentacles. Setting out very slowly and maybe with a lame horse. So here's the 8 of coins. So 8 coins plus the 5 that the king has is 13. That's asking for transformation. So we have 12 and 13 at play. Also the number 8, which could be leading back to strength or justice as well. But 8 coins is trying to get work done. Right? I'm trying to do work. I'm not getting... Like, as hard as I work, my bills keep piling up. And it looks like he may as well be looking at a bill there. So we have the Page of Cups here as well. This is a 1 or an 11. So strength and justice both come in and out of that 8 and 11 number, depending on what deck it is. Now, this tells me that Aries not comfortable in their feelings, right? I'm starting to get a hang of it. I'm starting to work through stuff. I'm chipping away at the ice block. And like I said, with the masculine and feminine at loggerheads, I'm not in touch with my feelings. I don't even want to go there. I just want to work on practical things. 8 of Pentacles energy is the Sun in Virgo. Right? So this is indicating like this time of the year exactly. But this is coming up as past energy as well. So it could be like I'm noticing something's different and my work isn't paying off like it was last year, and now I'm kind of depressed. So in the now, my thumbnails are shredded, so now I can't pick anything up. The Chariot in reverse. I'm not surprised to see this. And I said a lame horse, too. The Knight of Pentacles with a lame horse. My Chariot has thrown a wheel. This is Cancer energy. Although usually when the moon is inverted, it tells me the sun, but we had Sun in Virgo over here. I was just thinking of the Barbara Streisand version of Jingle Bells, of the second or third verse when she's talking about when they were going on a sleigh ride and they got upsot. My chariot is upsot. So number 7, lack of movement. I don't see a 7 here. 12 inverted is sort of like 21 though, which would be 3 times that, but that's not really coming up in the other numbers. Number 8 inverted, swiftness, 8 of Wands, right? It's going fucking slow. It's really slow when you're driving on your rim because you've got a flat tire, which I did once and had to get a new wheel, which sucked. What is this? Mercury and Sagittarius energy. Okay. So we have the other another fire element here, but it's coming in inverted. Now these are the nodes right now, the north and south node, and we're inverted. And I feel like this is talking about when the nodes switched, when they went from Cancer and Capricorn to Gemini and Sagittarius, and then immediately switched around, because when this first switched, Sagittarius was in the north node and Gemini, mercurial energy, was in the south node. But we turned this whole the whole Earth around, this rainbow idea, and now Sagittarius is south node and Mercury is north node. So I feel like this whole slowdown, and I was going to say I would expect to see Saturn energy here, but I see 7 and 8 both inverted. That's Saturn retrograde right there, 15, the devil. Okay, so we have the nodes, Cancer, Capricorn, switching to Gemini and Sagittarius, which happened a couple of months ago. So this whole thing has slowed to a crawl. There's not much movement, and what movement there is slow. Communication is slow, like with the postal stuff, and now you're getting bills that you didn't know you were gonna get. Like, what the fuck is this shit? So then we have the star here, Aquarius energy. Now it's interesting that this is coming in upright because Uranus just went retrograde. Now the star is that, like, day after the tower energy that there's hope yet for a healing, and I'm gonna wish upon a star, and it's giving me this light that isn't going to burn me, to help me move forward. It's also 8, which breaks down to that strength and justice, right? 3 8s, 24, possibly healing in the present. So even though everything's fucking slowed down to shit, I'm still hopeful, and I'm gonna try to stay on this. Alright. Digging the cave to the underground to address your terrors. 223. Okay, so we have 4, and then we have 5. And then we also have 7. Foundation, pivot, movement, which is what Aries energy does because it's Martian, right? It's stuck to a certain foundation, like these arrows are anchored here, and then they try to move outward, but they can only change their direction. They can't fly like Sagittarius would actually do, right? Sagittarius is this arrow that escaped escape velocity, right? It made it out of the what's it called? The event horizon. Jesus Christ. Noun retrieval issues. Oh yes, most definitely. 15, right? 15, that devil energy. So we go 7 and then 15 again. I don't want to sell out. Okay, so there's 24. Now notice how I mentioned the number 24 here. How did I mention that? Oh, 3 8s, 24. Okay. High Priestess and the Emperor, or 6, the Lovers, healing Gemini energy. Digging the cave to the underground to address your terrors. Oh yes, most definitely. I don't want to sell out. Okay, let's get some charms. I'm going to go back to those cards because that's the potential future. You see the numbers are coming out of what's happening in the past and the present. That's enough. Okay. Huh? Right on this star card, Saturn retrograde. Hilarious. And this fucking sugar bowl. I don't always know what that means, but... Oh, you know what? It landed right on this thing that kind of looks like a bowl. It's like I'm dumping out... I'm pouring as much sugar into my life as I can. That is my wish. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So I'm... Even though I'm getting ground into pulp by this Saturn retrograde to deal with my business, this emotional business, I'm doing my best to get through this transitional period without completely freaking out. I might also gain a few pounds snacking on sweets, but, you know, everybody's got their COVID 20, right? Their 20 pounds, like the freshman 15. So going the other way here, I have the Earth. Which to me tells me that, like, Virgo inverted energy that was over here. Like, Virgo keeps coming up invert in its own season. Maybe that was in the last reading I was doing. But at any rate, I keep getting Virgo energy in the reverse. And I feel like that's why this Earth was facing the other way. Oh, this was the Sun in Virgo, so I had the Earth here with Virgo energy. Right, my world is turned upside down. I'm doing all this work and nothing's happening. Alright, so over here, all these charms going the other way. Okay, so here's this Tesla coil to Tesla coil thing, the Zeusophone, sort of electric energy, making connection and some kind of a sound here. And I have a chicken, the rooster, and then I have this owl that fell out when I was shaking the box. So this is the wisdom, this is the information. Right? So it's sort of like the sound is sort of electric. It's a little bit garbled, but you still know the tune. Why is this chicken here? Why is the rooster? Okay. Alright, I'm getting... pick this up. I'm getting this idea of the Chicken Licken story where he's like, the sky is falling, and this guy was going the other... This rooster was going the other way. And I think it goes with this, right? Digging the cave to the underground to address your terrors, right? The sky is falling, right? The earth. The sky is falling. I kind of want to clarify that I don't want to sell out. Because I think what I'd like to see to go with that digging the cave to the underground is a 6 of Swords inverted. Because that's the card for me that says that same message. Okay, so to clarify, I don't want to sell out. I'm getting, I accept this gift and I am much obliged. Which is half of this. 24 breaking down to 12. Which is what we started with over here with the hangman waking up. Right? It's like if I get some kind of a download. Let's see. This past thing is like, I built up some kind of a company. I did all this work. I was the boss. I worked my ass off. 14 and 8, 22, breaking down to 4, foundation. I built this. I made myself up. But somehow the world turned on me. Like the people in my world turned on me, right? My employees or something like that. The people who were supposed to, you know, be there for me in some way. And it made me depressed. But the only way to even survive at all was to step down and sell out and cut my losses. That's where this potential future energy still kind of lingers. But this Hanged Man inverted is signaling this. I was so concerned about losing and selling out and selling my company to some conglomerate because I was losing my grip on it. But now I see that this was a gift that I really needed to get me where I want to go. So the fact that there's extremely slow movement in the present with this star is like, you feel like your whole life is ground to a complete fucking halt. But it's so you can address these fears, right? My biggest fear happened and I survived it. Something that I built was taken from me. And like, yes, I'm feeling this Saturn energy, but there's still some kind of electricity in the air, some sort of message. Like, I feel like there's some kind of indication that I know what it's for. Okay, so let's get into the work. That gave me like all the feels and the sadness. For a fire sign, Aries is really... Y'all, Aries are really deep in your feels right now. I'm getting it. Alright, so in the past for work... I kind of feel like crying. Queen of Swords energy. So I was looking for the 6 inverted, but now we have the Queen. So she's coming in with this 13 energy, which is that death and transformation. But it's also relating back to these 12s. The next step after 12, 13. I'm waking up and now I'm going through this transformative cycle. But the Queen is someone who is... She's like clever and creative in her thinking, right? Witty, sort of quick on the ball, able to adapt to situations. If she's out of balance, it's kind of like off with your head, do what I say. But this, in the past, it's like this king was very much in this Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. I'm building my empire by this, like, intuitively going through these stages where if something's not working, I hop to another thing and I keep building this spiral company upwards. Okay? But we see that there is something wrong happened here. So we have the Empress inverted, right? All that creative problem solving to set up this edifice that you had planned, right? Masculine energy, king, linear planning. It's like, this is what the end product is gonna be. I built this castle. We built this city. So this Empress inverted, 3. It's like like my creation that I started, my business, my baby never was born. It was like it came out premature and somebody bought it and sold it to the adoption agency or something. But it's like, you know, my dream was stillborn and I put all this work into it. So it's like a lack of abundance even after all this. And then what we have here is 16, which is a tower moment, which is the first 2 8s here. This tower that sort of brings your whole world down on you. Page of Coins, right? I'm reduced to starting over. notice how all of these work things are in feminine energies, and all of these overall purposes are masculine energies on the cards. Right? So it's like, in order for your work to actually progress, there's this indication that lack of emotional connection is what was preventing the work from manifesting in a balanced way. So in the present, we have 4 completion. So this is the 4 of Wands. So we have Venus in Aries. So what do we have but the Empress, Venus, in Aries? And I had said there was a 22 over here somewhere that I said was broke down to 4, which was foundation. And here it is here, the 4 of Wands. Looking a lot like this card. But it's paired with the moon, which is 18. And these 4 and 18, 22 again, breaking down to 4. So this is well, the moon rules Cancer, but this is actually Piscean energy. So even though these are upright, we're still dealing with that Neptune energy. So maybe there's this idea of Neptune going direct, and I'm not sure when that's happening, if it's soon or what. But there's this idea of resonance, and these 2 things here on this moon card look an awful lot like this little Tesla coil sousaphone thing that I made. We have these 2 pillars with the energy flowing between them, right? We're trying to gain some kind of information in the dark, and what happens is that you can't really see what's going on with these except for at nighttime, and then you can see the lightning bolts going between the pillars. Right, so it's this idea of digging the cave to the underground. I need the darkness sometimes to see these things that will illuminate me that are sort of blocked out by the bright light of day, right? I can't see the stars because of all the lights, all the city lights. What's it called? Light pollution. Okay. The Emperor inverted, right next to the Empress inverted. So we have a 4 inverted, Aries energy. Right? It's like, why not? If you're not in touch with the emotive, feminine, flowy side of things, then your analytical process when you're depressed is going to be in a state of somewhat of anger. You know, I can't feel depressed because I don't want to think about my emotions. But when I finally do get into these spheres, I find that I'm angry. 6 of discs, success. Okay, so this is the 6 of pentacles. The moon in Taurus. So we did see Taurus already. Taurus is ruled by Venus. 22 and 4 is 26, which breaks down to 8 anyway. 8 and 6 breaks down to 14, which is balance, which breaks down to 5, which is a pivot. So even through this current anger, this, I said over here that there should have been a 3, but there wasn't one, but now there is 3. 18 divided by 3 is the 6. 12 divided by the 3 is the 4. And then the 4 and the 6 is like enable to complete the cycle and hit the wheel energy, Sagittarius, and shoot forward to a new location. the terrors and the depths, what's actually in there is the anger. It's not hiding from the feelings necessarily. It's that I'm afraid that my only feelings are rage. But what we have here prescribed is success. The moon in Taurus. The moon. Taurus. Wow, okay. So in the potential future, you're not seeing something and you're not seeing the bigger picture. 101. So we have 11, universal timing, with the Fool sandwiched in between. Angel Demabia helps you focus on your solar and sacral chakra. 94 breaking down to 13. So this came inverted, and I feel like the way this is set up with this moon here, with this emperor underneath it, it's like this is the heart and this is the solar. And I'm having trouble transforming this energy. Right? It's like in the future, I accept this gift and I'm much obliged. That's once you figure this out. But the work to get to this life purpose is like, I'm struggling to have this transformation. I need help from my guides because I'm struggling to see how being, you know, swindled or forced to sell out because my company was going to go under because some other company, or other such similar things. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding why this stuff that, you know, screwed me over and pissed me off so bad is actually beneficial. Enhanced calm, they're coming out. The cat emerges from the bag. 7 and 8 breaking down to 15. Okay. So I get this idea of the reasons, right? 15 breaks down to 6. So and I was getting a little bit of Saturn retrograde energy there too. So the reason that I lost my train of thought. The reasons are coming out, right? When you get into your fears a little bit and start to have this transformative essence where you're not just constantly fighting the undertow of your own ego, basically, the reasons why this happens start to come out. Like, oh, okay, I'm starting to understand now. But let's get a little bit of help. Okay. Interestingly enough, these lips fell on the oh yes, most definitely. I'm not sure why. It gives me this idea of like kissing. Okay. So here's the tower, which I had mentioned. Landing on the Empress. So sort of like right here, let's just say it's between the Emperor and the Empress because this yin yang is right next to it. Right? I need to rebuild my tower in balance between these two energies. When I look up at the sky and see the moon, I see the duality of it all. So I have 3 other things here going face down. I have the peace sign. Peace. I have this crystal spike here, which could be the Ace of Pentacles. Right? It's like the page is holding the singular pentacle. Success is actually peace within, right? It's not, I don't see the peace because it's inside me. And then over here, we have the eyeball on the you're not seeing the bigger picture. Right, so perhaps you need to open up your third eye a little bit more. Really focus on that. Maybe listen to some chakra music, which might help. Solar chakra music, perhaps, as well. Okay, so let's look at the relationship area for Aries. There's the Ace of Wands, anyway, in the challenged position, right? I'm having a hard time finding out what my core drive is, because I feel all I can feel is rage that what I put so much effort into is fucked. There's the Star again, right? So even in the how I'm doing things, I'm like wishing that I can get a hold of this. And notice that these two together are the Moon again. And we have a pair here. Strength inverted, which is 8 in this deck, and then the 3 of Wands. So this is 11. So we have this 11 justice and strength dichotomy here again. I don't know if I have the strength to like carry on and completely redo myself and experience myself in the future in a different way. Like, what the fuck? So strength is the sun energy, that's Leo, so inverted Moon energy again. 3 of Wands, the sun in Aries. Inverted, so Moon energy all across the board here with fellow fire sign Leo, and then Aries yourself. Aquarius energy again. So you're the universe inverted. This is a lot like this. This is the world in this deck. Oh, okay. It says Earth on it, but this Earth, Saturn retrograde. 21. No, I was thinking that the Hangman inverted the way it's written in not in Arabic numerals. When it's inverted, it looks like 12 looks like 21 and vice versa. So I was thinking about that earlier, so I'm not surprised this card came out. But it comes out inverted, so we have my world is turned upside down, but also this idea of I'm looking at it in particular because of Saturn retrograde and trying to, and being forced to do this work on it. 5 of Wands, strife. So that should have come up right away. Notice in these same positions over here between the overall life purpose and the relationships, 5 and 8, 13. What is a 5 of Wands? Saturn in Leo. Okay, so it's saying it's taking this energy and splitting it. Interesting. This is just conflict. I'm pissed off. 9 total, but not going the same direction. So it's like hermit energy. I need to go within, but I can't meditate because I'm too pissed off. And we have 6. There's the 6 of Swords. Told you that should have come out. Science. Science, bitches. Mercury in Aquarius. Gemini North Node with Aquarius energy. This is upright here, though. In theory, it should be inverted. But I think it's coming in upright because it's saying we're sailing away. We need to come away. We need to sail away from this past and understand that we can go somewhere different. That's where this resistance is. But the notion that this card should be inverted, because I'm going deeper. I'm going deep underground into Hades to look in the darkness to see what I need to see. that is sort of referenced by the fact that Uranus is currently retrograde. So you should see this card this way, but you're also in this position to start moving away from what in the past was causing the trauma. I need water. Okay. 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So in the potential future, grounding of the heart center with the moon number on it. I just said this was the heart, this is the solar plexus, and with this orange card, it says heart center with the moon number on it. I couldn't have planned that if I fucking tried. Because I didn't even know I had that card. It doesn't matter whose fault it was, sacrifices, paying of karmic debt with Neptune referenced. 9 and 9, 18. Again, moon energy. 1 and 6 and 7. So I have the Tower, which breaks down to 7, which is the Chariot. So essentially 14 balance. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. So it's sort of, in some ways, it might be like you had to build up your hopes and then have them dashed and be furious and have a struggle getting into your emotional and nurturing side so that you can complete paying off debt probably from past lives. And I feel like this is nurturing here, right? Whether, I mean, it could be sexual, but it's like when, like, well, for me, like if I scoop up the kitten, I'm going to kiss it on the forehead. It's sort of like if your mom, and you're a little kid and your mom hugs you and she kisses you on the head. That's what I feel like that is. Unexpected and silent movement. 43. 7. So there's the Chariot number again. So it's like I'm finally succeeding in having this grounding and releasing my thoughts and meditating. Silent movement. I'm not getting in a car. I'm moving in my own head. And notice how it's blue here, which is sort of emotional, but could also be air as well. And then we have 10 here. What's wrong, dear? What's wrong? Well, this fucking shit over here was wrong. But 10, I'm done with that. I'm completed. It doesn't have to be wrong anymore, whatever. And these cards that came out together break down to 17, the star, which has appeared twice already. So what's wrong? Well, it's not wrong anymore because I get it. I'm going to move on. But let's get some charms for these, though. This is the most potent these cards have ever been. Like, I wasn't sure they were going to work very well, and then I made a second stack, so now I have about 100 of them. And for the last couple days, I think it was yesterday, I got a whole paragraph fucking perfectly aligned. I think it was during Aquarius reading, and these ones are like really, they're really ramping it up. It's like sort of like Lenormand cards. It makes more sense when you read the ones next to them. Okay, I can see right away here I have the thermometer and this club here, which is like my like one of my Ace of Wands type things. Right? We have Ace of Wands over here. This was going the other way, and this was going the other way. It's kind of like this idea of the ace becomes out of reach when you're overheated. And then I have the speakers over here and this calendar. This landed kind of over here on this enhanced calm they're coming out. It's like I'm impatient. Like the calendar is too much. I don't want to. here, this cello and these speakers came out next to each other. I know it looks kind of like a washing machine, but they came out on the star card here, and the speakers were going the other way. It's like I'm playing this deeply emotive tune, like my emotions are just waiting to be accessed, right? The bow isn't across them, but it's there. It's like I can access these deep emotions and let them out, but I'm afraid to raise my voice in the past to do so. Now right here on sacrifices and coming out of debt, I have a battery, paying of karmic debt, the battery and the flashlight together. It's like I finally have enough energy to get illumination on this issue. Or it's like I finally allowed myself to have the power to go into this darkness in this moon energy. Okay? So, I'm not surprised to see a lot of fire influences come out for Aries. And look how there's these cards. They're all very, almost exclusively fiery. I mean, this could be sort of a fire color. I have this like goldenrod color. It's like lemon, this sort of canary color, and then all like orangey and yellow over here, and then red. I mean, that's insane. Okay, so anyway, if you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up there, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail. Alright, so we got thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. If you're already watching this, then you're on Patreon already, but if you want to further contribute to my work, you can donate paypal.me/CATtheMinion. And I also have Cash App and Venmo. And the complete list of readings that I offer and how much they cost are in the description box of my infomercial video, which is on YouTube at large, and the thumbnail looks like this. And I've been trying to remember to link it below in the Patreon description so it's easier to find. Alright, so stay groovy and we'll see you later, bye.